live together before. I'm going to let her introduce herself and what she does, and we're going to take it from there.
Great. Thank you so much, Carmen, for having me. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Joey Tracy. I'm an Instagram strategist for small business owners, women small business owners. And my focus is helping you learn how to show up in real life, showing your behind the scenes, real life moments to take your community of followers to paying customers.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about a couple things that Joey has for us in the sleepover community. And I believe you could also use it if you're in a balloon business or like kids spa party business, but it's really geared towards us. So I'm gonna let you talk about your mini course. And I did the mini course, and I'll tell you how I felt about it, but I'll let Joey explain it first.
Okay, great. Thank you. So a
Mhm.
mini course, actually, it's a master class because it's anyway. It doesn't matter. That's semantics.
I'm sorry, I might have messed that up. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think we talked anyway. Not a big deal. So what it is it teaches your industry how to set up your stories strategically and with intention. It's a formula, a blueprint, Monday through Friday to connect with your audience, build relatability, ask for the sale, and then end the week with another piece of human connection. A lot of people open up their Instagram app and they look at stories and they think, oh, what do I even post? And it can be anything from a shared meme, a shared post from your feed, and it sometimes feels really random. And stories are moving into 2025 where you need to be really specific. We don't want to post more than 5 slides max a day. We don't want to post throughout the day. And so I'm really just taking sort of what's working now in 2025, and I'm giving you a formula to follow on repeat every week so that you can stay consistent. You can take the frustration, you can take the time out of what do I post. This works for those of you that are working your sleepover business alongside your job. You're looking to scale. It's just in under an hour a week. If you follow this formula, you can create a week's worth of content, and it will help you get more sales.
Yes, absolutely. So I took the course, and I will say first thing, read the whole thing. She tells you at the beginning to read the whole thing. I didn't. I was like, oh, I'll catch it. I know what I'm doing. I'm a pro. And so I was the first 2 days, I would just go to the days and I was like, oh, she said don't post anything that day. So my first tip of advice is to read the whole thing through, kind of see what you're doing so you can have an idea of what type of footage you may need or anything like that. What I really liked the most about the course is that it was pretty thoughtless. Joey gives you exactly what you need. She's not telling you exactly what to say. She'll give you examples, but she'll give you the idea. This is slide A. This is what you need. And you'll probably have it in your content. This is the next slide. And you want to do it, like she said, back to back to back. So, you're not waiting an hour in between. And I think like Monday took me 10 minutes. It took me about 10 minutes every day. Like she said, it was less than an hour,
Mhm.
but she gives you what you need and it just gives you an idea of what to do. It was so thoughtless because of what she gave me. So, I really enjoyed it. And it made me even think about this week. I was just off with my stories and everything, but it gave me an idea of what to do for the coming weeks, even though I'm going to do something different, but I can still use that same formula to come up
Mhm.
with something to post and not really random things that we tend to post. So I really
Right. I'm
enjoyed it.
glad. Oh, good. I'm glad you gave that feedback. Thank you.
Mhm,
So, yeah, it
mhm,
has a content prompt. It
mhm.
has a text prompt, and I say you can use this as is, swipe it, or let it inspire you because really, I want it to sound like you. And
Mhm.
so it's just really important to, if you're not feeling super confident or your brain is just like, I don't have time to think about something to say, just
Yes,
use what I write. It'll be good enough. Okay.
right, for
And then
sure.
I also give the why this works because
Yes,
there is a certain strategy to asking for a sale.
yeah,
And um, I mentioned that, I want you to be able to close the loop. And we'll talk
yeah,
about this in just a little bit.
yeah.
But it's just really important and it's set up intentionally. It's what I do for my own business. I've used it with other businesses and it works. And so we don't need to reinvent the wheel each week. And, I say this that it's both hard and easy
Yeah.
because it's hard because you're going to start to overthink it.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah.
And it's easy because I give you my expertise and the tips to just plug and play. So
Yes.
that's why I say really just read through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
I ask you to trust me.
Yeah.
And I think that, I know that it works. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to share the knowledge with you.
Yeah, definitely. And a couple things I had to come to Joey after reading through the course. What is it a course? I'm sorry. I want to call it a mini course so
That's
bad.
okay. We call it a mini course, a master class.
The master class.
Yeah, it's a master class. So you basically what I sent Carmen was a freebie, and it just
Yes,
was.
yes.
It was, and you can get it off of my link in bio or whatever. It's just a freebie. It's available, right? It's for you guys. And then the master class breaks it down in greater detail. And I show some of Carmen's examples. I show examples that I use in my business. And so it's just so I think we all learn in different ways. We can read about it, we can see visually, and then it starts to click, right? So in under an hour, you can take this masterclass and then you'll have access to it evergreen, right? And any changes I make, I'll put in there. So it's just really really, I keep saying that it's just a
Yeah.
lovely resource for you guys so that, you can just get back to doing your life and what you love to
Right.
do, your job. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. So, okay, got it. So, some of the terms that we want to talk about and some footage that you should have on your phone so you could use it in different stories and reels and everything. Um, First, I want to talk about static picture, photo. I didn't know what that was, and I keep hearing it. And then finally, I talked to Joey and it clicked. And I'll let you explain what it is.
Okay, great. So you'll see this a lot when you're watching any type of social media person educate you on the jargon. So let me break it down for you super quick. So a static photo means it's not a video
Mhm,
and it's generally just a single pic. So
mhm.
when someone says use a static photo, it means it's just one picture, it's not a video. All right. Um, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
also not like a
It's not a
carousel
thank
post.
you for bringing that up.
It's
Yes.
it's
So a
one post.
it's
Yes.
one picture. So a
Mhm,
carousel is when you have more than one photo.
mhm.
Okay. So a carousel can be in your stories of one, two, three photos. It's kind of a carousel of
Yeah.
the theme. And then you can do a carousel in your feed of up to 20 pictures now.
Yeah.
And remember, Instagram wants to know that the content that you are creating keeps your viewer on the app.
Yeah.
So the longer they swipe through your stories, that tells them, oh, this person is locked in and wants to see everything. And that is really important. So
Yeah.
that's why we're switching from multiple times through the day
Mhm.
to posting concurrently and then just be done with it. Right.
Yeah.
If you want to add something later on because it seems organic and
Mhm.
you want to share a funny meme or something, that's fine. But really, we want to stay intentional and strategic so that you grab your audience's attention and they stay with you the whole time and then they don't X out because that tells the algorithm, okay, she wants to know more about Carmen and what she's got to say.
Yep. Yep. Um, B-roll content. That was something
B-roll. Yeah.
I didn't know. So,
No, it's okay. So B-roll just refers to secondary footage, behind the scenes footage. So it would be for your industry, it would be walking through a Hobby Lobby or whatever craft store that you all go to source,
yep.
your add-on materials.
Yep.
It could be unpacking your car of your setup. It could be putting the pickup back into your car. It
Yeah.
could be walking through your storage unit.
Mhm.
It can be setting up your displays. I'm sorry, your party, displays. What else? That's the business side. Personal side, it could be you washing your face,
Yeah.
drinking a cup of coffee,
Yeah.
sitting at your computer, actually making the add-ons.
Yep.
Um, it's just really any kind of behind the scenes life moments.
Yep.
And you're probably already going, nobody's going to want to see that. And I'm going to tell you right now, they are. And
Mhm.
we'll get into that in just a little bit. But trust me when I say just start creating those little things
Yeah.
and create a photo album on your phone so that you can label it B-roll so you can find it very easily. That's one of the biggest time savers
Yeah,
that I
for
can recommend.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Recording that content, not being afraid of the selfies.
Yes.
You do have to take some selfies.
You do have to take
I took one for the first time ever after doing the freebie. I took a selfie with my shirt on with the
Mhm.
tents in the background, and I was thinking to myself, I've never ever done that. And I'm gonna start doing that more often, just to show my face more on my page. And I looked at my feed, even my feed. I know we're talking about stories, but I looked
That's
at my feed and there are absolutely no pictures of me in my feed. So that is a goal of mine this year, is to put my face on Instagram more. And I also noticed that the other company here in Columbus, they don't show who they are either. At least with me, I'm in the stories. I don't know if people, if they are or whatever. But anyway, but I want people to know who I am. So I think that's
it's a
important.
it's
It's,
really
it's
important, and the more
it
you
is.
take selfies, the more comfortable you'll get with them.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
honestly have a photo roll. I have an album in my called Selfies, um, and I can see the progression over years how I've gotten more comfortable. Is it
Yeah,
still comfortable for me? Not really. It's just a little more
yeah,
natural for me to snap
yeah,
a selfie, and I just get over myself and do it
for
because
sure.
you are walking into people's homes. All
Yeah.
right. If they cannot identify with who they're welcoming into their home, who they're trusting with this, with this big event,
Mhm.
you're potentially losing out on business and money
Sure.
because your competition is. And I hate that for you. I
Yeah,
mean, I
for
just,
sure.
you look beautiful on camera,
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
if you have like, you don't have to be perfectly curated, right? Wear the
Yeah,
glasses, wear the headbands, wear your hat, wear
yeah,
no makeup,
yeah.
because most women, we don't walk out the door, not anyone in my world, we don't walk
Right,
out the door, looking fantastic all the time.
right.
We are in real life moms with jobs and
For sure.
chaos. So,
For
yeah.
sure. For sure. I'm gonna go back to something you said earlier.
Mhm.
What changes have you seen on Instagram from last year to this year? I know you named a couple things, but what else do you see changing on Instagram?
Yeah, that's great. So, in years past, we've really asked people to talk to camera as if you're, FaceTiming a friend. And again, that was really just to boost relatability. People can hear the sound of your voice. It's just like
Mhm,
making conversation with a friend.
mhm,
Personally, I found it very, I never got as much interaction and engagement from those style of posts because I would forget to turn on my captions, and people do.
mhm,
Think about people's habits, your habits when you're opening up the app and you're swiping
mhm.
stories. You don't have the volume up and you're distracted. Maybe you're in the Target,
Yeah, that's
curbside
true.
line. You're walking from a meeting to your car. You're
Mhm.
basically on social when you should be maybe doing something else,
Yes, yeah.
or you are doing something else and you're distracted. And so
Mhm,
the message is getting lost. So
mhm.
now it's moving more toward text to camera.
It is. It is.
And that way people can screenshot it, they can hold to read it. It
Mhm.
just gives them an opportunity to really soak in the value of what you're saying. Does it take a
Yeah,
little more time to create those posts? Sometimes if it's really text heavy,
yeah.
but here are things that you can do. You can repost it if it's something you talk about all the time.
Mhm,
There are three hamburger dots when you post is when you put a story slide up. If you look in the
mhm,
upper right corner, there
mhm,
are three hamburger dots. You touch that and you can hit save photo.
mhm.
You can save it and then repost it time and time again,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So for
Yeah.
your industry, you would say, these are the steps to book us for a party. The steps are
Mhm.
the same. So
Yeah,
don't recreate that every time.
that is true.
Just do it
Yes,
that way. Okay.
yes,
So
yes.
that's something text to camera is making a big comeback.
Okay.
I personally have always done it, so I'm happy with it.
You do.
Um,
Mhm,
again, we used to post all the way through the day. They would say
mhm,
post in the morning, post in the afternoon, post in the
mhm,
evening. Now and that could be multiple slides. Now people, they don't have the attention span, and
mhm.
that will get them to X out, especially if it's so random. They're like, where are you taking me with this?
Yeah,
Right? Our brains need closure,
yeah.
right? So if you're going to post something, post concurrently, right? Like make sure that it makes sense, the 1 to 3 slides that you're going to do.
Mhm.
And then if you're going to post different slides, then post within an hour, right?
Yeah.
Because then it all seems to just seem compacted. It's like
Mhm.
walking into a TV show midway and you
Mhm.
have no idea what's going on because you weren't
Yeah.
there at the beginning and you're not going to stay and watch the end.
Right.
So
For
people
sure.
are like, I don't know what she's talking about. It makes no
Right.
sense, right?
Right. For sure.
Um, let's see what else. I think that organic photos are really the trend. I
Yeah.
know that your setups are beautiful, and
Mhm.
that's okay to use them occasionally.
Mhm.
But use more organic photos, right? Because that's people want to see that. They
Yeah.
especially I don't mean you'll know what I mean when I say this. If you all look the same in a
Mhm.
way because
Yeah.
it's a room full of tents
Yeah.
with the add-ons. I mean, the way you show it, there's not much differentiation
Yeah.
except in your stories, right?
Yeah.
How does
Mhm.
the setup, close up on the garland,
Yeah.
close up on the tents, the blankets.
Mhm.
Those are organic moments that people, ooh, they're like looking behind and going,
Yeah.
"Oh, I love that garland," right? Like
Mhm.
that's what I look for when I'm
Mhm.
on those. I'm like, show me something that I want to see that I haven't seen
Yeah.
anywhere else,
Right.
right?
For sure.
Um, and then speaking of when you share your posts up into your stories, you want to give your viewer a reason to click and go to the post.
Mhm.
Okay, so you can give them some text context that didn't come out right. Let me say this. You want to give them a reason to click on the post. Give them
Mhm.
some context as to why they should check it out, right?
Okay.
So, so you can say, check out what this mom had to say about her kiddo's birthday party.
Mhm.
That sparks curiosity,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Or this party was, how would you say it, a custom theme,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
You
Mhm.
could say that. So
Yeah.
that's subtly letting your audience know that you
Yeah.
do custom themes.
Mhm.
And then they'll want to click and go, well, I was interested in
Yeah.
a custom theme. I
Yeah.
wonder if that's something that I would want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Instead
So
of
then,
just like posting, because sometimes what I'll do, like some people will make a post and then just
mhm,
put it on their story and not say anything.
yes.
So
And
it's just
that
there. So you
it's just
just
there.
it's just
And people are
random.
like, well, why do I want to look at this? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it used to be when we first started, we would put that new post, new reel,
Yeah.
that get
I still do
way
it.
big, right? Some of y'all still clinging to it. And I'm like, okay, she didn't have a lot of time today. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that people, they don't care about that anymore. It doesn't, they're so busy and they're so distracted. It does not spark curiosity. It actually sparks boredom. They're like,
Mhm.
X, I don't care.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. So don't do that anymore either.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and then also, in stories, people want more relatability. They want to know what you're like as a woman
Mhm.
because they're women, right? I mean, you may have men who book parties, but
Mhm.
generally your audience is
Yeah.
are women and
It
moms.
is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you need to share pieces of your life that make the women watching you feel like they're not alone in their struggles as women,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
moms.
Yeah.
So if you are parenting a toddler, parenting a school ager, a middle schooler, you're an empty nester now, right? Still share things about what it's like to be as a mom, and
Yeah.
especially your failures as a mom, or
Mhm.
um, and you can do that through memes,
Mhm.
reels, and you can just say, I feel seen, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
that lets people know that you're doing the same thing they are. Being moms and adulting is
Yeah, for sure.
also shows that you're working your job, this job, alongside your other job.
Mhm.
So, Carmen does a great job of this. She'll talk about her job as a dental hygienist and how she builds relationships with her patients.
Mhm.
How does that relate to her tent business? Is that a woman reads that and goes, she's into building relationships with the
Yeah.
people she sees, right? It's
Yeah.
subtle, but people get it.
Yeah.
They get it, right? So
Mhm.
you just really have to remind people about what you do and who you are, and that just builds so much relatability for
Yeah.
people.
It does, and I've started doing that. And sometimes another thing I've heard someone, another like coach, say is sometimes when you let people know certain things about yourself, let's just say sometimes I talk about how I'm a Beyonce fan.
Okay.
And or just certain things. I don't know. I'm a Beyonce fan. I like true crime, or I like this particular restaurant. And you
Okay.
constantly talk about that. Sometimes a viewer will see that and they may see something and think you come to mind or your business comes to mind. It's just you're staying on someone's mind, even if it's not necessarily about the tents, but maybe when the tents come up because they're on your mind about certain things, you know,
Exactly.
you're just kind of let that go too. I hope I explained that right.
No,
That's kind
that's
of
a
how
great.
she.
Yeah, no, and that's great. So, Carmen, what do you know about me if you see something that's in the fitness world?
I know that you like yoga. I feel like I
Mhm.
can name like 5 things about you.
I'd be curious. I'm super curious. What are 5 things you think about with me?
With you,
Like if you see and you go, oh, that's
that's Joey.
yeah,
I can tell your stories. One, you're going to give advice about like Instagram, like
okay.
show your face
Hmm.
and um okay, I know you're going to give the advice about Instagram. I know your son, Ohio State, tennis.
Yep. Yep.
I know horseback riding for your daughter.
Yes.
I know self-care is big for you. So
Hmm.
like your eye cream, your
Hmm.
moment to decompress and
Oh
not
yeah.
even it may not even be decompressing, but you're like my coffee and my eye cream. Then I'm gonna get to, my clients and you just
Yes.
gotta take care of you.
Hmm.
Was that 4?
That
And
was
then
for and then
5, what'd you say?
you already mentioned it, the yoga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
exactly. So I use those things
mhm.
to just because you have to say things on repeat, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
laundry's a big thing. Laundry's a
Yep.
big thing. I'm always like, who the hell lives in this house if I have this much laundry? Like, I need, and
Yeah.
sometimes I honestly, I'm just like, can I just buy something new? I don't want to wash anything right now.
No, for sure.
Right. So those little things.
It's relatable, yeah, yeah.
I had a client, we were texting the other day and I commented on her stories.
Mhm,
She's gone through this formula and she's doing it and it's really, she goes, Joey, this was the best thing that ever happened to my business. She has
mhm.
an organizing business.
Yeah.
And she says there are days when I don't want to do it. And then I get in the back of my head, Joey would say, but you got to put your face on camera.
Mhm,
Right. And it's in the moments that we struggle with the things that we don't want to do
mhm.
that I give you courage and
Yeah,
empowerment to say, I promise you can do this. That's why I
for
tell my
sure.
people all the time, I promise you look amazing on camera. I
Yep.
promise you. All right.
Mhm,
Nobody's harder on ourselves than us.
mhm,
Right. And the mom that's got coffee spilled down her shirt right before she
mhm,
walks into the meeting, or, she got deodorant underneath
mhm.
her shirt because she put it on right. That's what people want to see.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
you can that's what people wanna see because
Yeah, they do.
they laugh at
They
you
do.
because they're laughing at themselves going, "Oh, thank God it's not just me.
Yep.
Thank God."
And the purpose of all this is building community so that
Mhm.
you are front of mind when somebody says, "Hey, do you know anybody that does those tents?" Like somebody
Yep.
came to me and she's a lady that's actually on like a mom's blog and she's a blogger around the city and she has a pretty decent following
Mhm.
and she asked the question, "Do you know anybody who does these tent parties?" And she said about 6 or 7 people came and said, "Oh, Carmen at, raining sleepover parties."
Love
And,
that.
and that's what it's about is, it's just building a genuine connection and you got to
Mhm.
be genuine,
You do.
cuz people can smell out a fake.
Oh, yeah, they're like, I look around like, "Is anyone" their BS meters are on
Yes.
high because there's so many people on Instagram now, like, so many people, and they do what you do in the town that you do it in,
Mhm.
right? And so
Mhm.
and let me just touch on that super quick. If you are new to this business,
Mhm.
do not be afraid. You can grow a business even if you're doing it in the town where there are already people who do what you do because
Yeah.
they're going to want to support you.
Yeah.
And but what will help you is if you put yourself out there as
Mhm.
the real you because like
Yeah.
Carmen said, and that's I mean, I picked Carmen,
Mhm.
what was it, 2 years, 3 years
Yeah.
ago now.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
I was researching tent people. I got recommendations from my friends. I went to Instagram to
Mhm.
see their feeds. And
Mhm.
I was like, but I don't see any people. I'm like, who am I talking to?
Yeah.
I would send DMs and nobody would reply back to me.
Mhm.
And finally, I got a hold of Carmen, and
Mhm.
her response time was quick. And then, but my point is like, you guys have got to have at least one picture of your face, and it's got to be in your pin to profile post, because
Yes, I know
when they
that. I
come
can
to
do
your
that.
Instagram page, and the pin to profile posts are the top 3 posts, right? So if somebody says, so let's take 6 people recommended Carmen, those women now are going, oh, I'm going to go,
Mhm.
because especially because they heard about her from a blogger. So a
Mhm.
blogger's on Instagram, they're already on the app, they're going to go right to Carmen.
Yeah.
So if they don't see a picture of her,
Mhm.
they're going to go, well, who are they talking about? Like, who's this
Mhm.
Carmen chick,
Yeah,
right?
right, for sure.
And so,
For
and by staying consistent in your stories, you have something that shows them at least something about you,
Mhm.
and then a face in your pinned to profile, so they can
Yeah.
begin to connect and go, okay, I've g- and this is an example Carmen did in her week following the freebie was, she has a picky eater. Her daughter is a picky eater, and she had a post up about that. So that's something that if they gone on stories that day,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, okay, I see we've got something. We're talking about something that I don't have a picky eater, but
Mhm.
I see she's sharing something about her life.
Mhm.
You see where we're going with that?
Yep,
Okay.
for
All right.
sure. Yep.
Yep. I'm taking a
That
drink of
definitely.
water. Like, yep.
And it's funny. So Joey, she uses a lot of real footage. A lot of us in our community, we like Canva and we do a lot of little cute little branded Canva templates. And so she'll take like the B-roll or even just a selfie and she'll like list out these things. And for some reason it stops me in my tracks. Even when I see reels like that, even if it's just footage of just a grocery store and it has like the words on there, because a lot of times she's right, I am doing something I'm not supposed to be on my phone and I'm just scrolling. And so I read her post. I stop and I read it. And at the very bottom, I don't even remember what the whole post was about. But she was basically telling, giving advice about Instagram. And she said, um, basically do a selfie and write whatever it is she wanted you to write. And she said, trust me, it's better than those boring graphics. And she put like a little she put like a little wink. And so I'm still doing my graphics, but it's also like, you know what? You can take a picture of yourself and put
Mhm.
some words on top. And I think it'll grab attention just as probably more, like she said, than the graphics, because people probably do just swipe out of that. So
Yeah, and I think it's important to do a mix, right? So I just, our brains, we want to train our audience to understand sort of what's coming. And
Mhm.
so when I use a selfie pic, then my audience typically knows this is something that Joey, it's like she's talking to me and she
Mhm.
really wants me to understand that this is important.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
When I use a curated photo, like a branding photo,
Mhm.
they understand that has probably something to do with business, right? Like I'm
Mhm.
giving, right? And then I have my get to do backgrounds, right? And so people say, oh, here we go. We're going to get a get to do list today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And
it's a
people love
matter,
those. Sorry,
and they do, and that's
they love those.
okay. And we talk about that in the
Mhm.
master class and the freebie and why that's super important. And I cannot say this enough, you guys. People want to know what you're doing.
Mhm.
They want to know what you're doing in real life. Again, because it lets them know that they're not alone in their struggles. You are a source, a resource of something other than just what you do.
Mhm.
You're actually more of a resource because of who you are.
Yep.
You have so much value to add to your community. And
Mhm.
that is a very strong word that you are going to hear a lot of people talking about
Mhm.
going forward.
Mhm.
I don't care if you have 50 followers, 5,000 followers, 50,000 followers.
Mhm.
If you are not connecting with those followers, they are not going to buy from you. So do not get intimidated if you say, oh my gosh, the girl in my town who does it, she has over 3,000 followers and I only have 300.
Yeah.
Don't,
Matter. Yeah.
don't,
Matter.
because if you are, don't worry about it.
Mhm.
I only have 1,200 followers
Mhm.
and my business is great,
Yeah.
right? So
For
because I spend a lot of time communicating
Mhm.
and nurturing relationships with the people that do follow me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they
Absolutely.
tell other people, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think let me look at my cheat sheet here because I feel like we were forgetting something real
Okay.
quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to ask you.
Go ahead and ask me a question.
Oh, no, no. I was going to make sure that we got everything.
Yeah, I know you're. Here we go. We get to talking.
Yeah. For sure.
um, let's see. Okay, so close the loop. That's what we wanted to finish
Yes.
talking
Yes.
about. Okay. So when I say close the loop, that comes in a couple of different ways. So we touched upon it before. So we have to grab your audience's attention and they say, okay, I want you to kind of lean in and listen to what I have to say. That grabs their attention. And then the next part is you share a story, you share a tip, you share something that they can use right away. We're all looking for that dopamine hit,
Yeah.
right? Like, tell me how to do something, tell me why this matters, what are the benefits of doing this, share a struggle with me and how you solved for it, from a relatability side. And then the third slide um, closes the loop, and that's where we say it just all makes sense, right?
Hmm.
And then you tell them like a little pep talk that they need to hear.
Hmm.
So you'll see in the master class where I tell you a get to do list, and it's going to
Hmm.
start off with personal. So where we go with relatable.
Yep.
Then the middle part, right, is business stuff. And then we end with maybe a pep talk that your audience needs to hear. Again, that closes the loop for them that they know, okay, she's done talking to me, and now I can move on to the next thing, right?
Yes.
So it's and once you do it more and more, you'll sort of understand better how it works and how impactful it is. It's not enough to just show before and afters. It's not enough just to show Google reviews. You
Yeah.
have to add some storytelling. It
Yes.
closes the loop as to why all that mattered, right? So let me give you just a quick example. So if you're sharing a theme,
Hmm.
let's say it's your, it doesn't have to be your newest, any theme,
Hmm.
and you book it and you put it up there, you need to use context like this was a party for a boy turning 8.
Hmm.
He lives in this city.
Hmm.
His mom called me 2 days in advance. Now, you don't always want to do that because
Yeah.
I wouldn't do 2 days because that makes people think they can call you
They
two
can.
days.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let's just say she called me. She called me desperate
Yeah.
because she just couldn't seem to figure out how to pull all this together, right?
Yeah.
Because you're solving the stress and the,
Yeah.
the pressure that they're feeling to make this big moment happen.
Yeah.
And then you say, I was so glad I was able to help her. Enjoy all the photos,
Hmm.
and good luck with the thank you notes, right?
Yeah.
Like something
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is telling a story and closing the loop
Hmm.
on that particular party. I'm
Yes.
hoping that this makes sense.
Yeah.
So you guys just throw up pictures
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
you don't say anything. I'm like, okay, well, obviously it was for a girl and obviously it was for a boy. But if I'm a mom and I have an specific age child.
Hmm.
Oh, I have an 8-year-old. Oh,
Yeah.
I have a 5-year-old. Oh, this would be great for my 5-year-old. It's just
Yeah.
helping them make the
Yeah.
decision a lot faster.
Yeah.
Give them ideas, give them
Hmm.
suggestions, right? And when you say in particular cities, moms that are in that area searching what you do, guess what the algorithm is going to say? Oh, they need
Yes.
to
Yeah.
see that
Hmm.
Carmen's could be her answer,
Yeah.
right? So give details. You don't want
Yeah.
to say Mr. and Mrs. Smith on X street because
Right. Right.
we're not doing that. But
Right.
you know what I mean? You just want to
Yeah.
let people know that, oh, she's in my area. I didn't know
Yeah.
she's here.
Yeah.
We think people are paying super close attention to us.
Yeah.
Nope. They are, but they aren't. They have to
Yeah.
have those reminders as to why
Yeah.
all this is
Yeah.
important for them.
Yeah. And to kind of just piggyback on what you said, some like marketing people or like marketing courses I've taken, they call it problem solution results. So that's basically the
Mm.
same thing Joey is
Yes.
saying. There's a problem,
Mhm.
somebody contacted me, they were in a rush. The solution is me, the party, and then the results is this mom is so happy. That's closing a loop. It's exactly
That
what she's saying.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of saying it. So I just
Right.
wanted to kind of throw that out
Thank
there.
you. Yeah, no, that's great because that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to close the loop from a personal side, right? Once you get more comfortable talking about your personal struggles, and I'm not saying your deepest, darkest
Yeah.
secrets, okay? I'm just saying if you have a picky eater, for example, the
Hmm.
struggle is my kid.
Hmm.
She's a picky eater.
Hmm.
She's getting bored with her bento box every day. Okay, how am I going to solve for this? So I found an IG account where
Hmm.
somebody gave me
Yep.
suggestions, and
Hmm.
now my child and I are both
Hmm.
happy with her lunch every day.
Yep.
That closes the loop. See what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
you just have to, like you said, what's
Yep.
the problem?
Yep.
How am I going to solve it? And here's how good
That's
I feel now
Yep.
that it's solved.
Yep.
So
Yep. I
that's what
agree.
we're talking about.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so just to go back to the master class, so
Mhm.
I created this just for your industry. So like I said, I do this for all kinds of industries, but this
Mhm.
particular master class is just for you. It can apply toward those of you that do maybe more of the picnic,
Mhm.
uh, the picnic styles. Balloons a little bit, but
Mhm.
anyway, so and I've put it together at a very special price.
Mhm.
So when you see this, there'll be a link and you can click on it. And so just know that that price is for you. If for some reason you need to reach out to me directly, you can do it through an email or through my DMs. And if you mention the word Carmen, I'll know that we've connected through this and you'll get it at the discount rate. So I just want you to know that I love working with Carmen. I love working with your business. Your
Thank
industry is super fun. Um, and I know how important birthday parties are to moms. And it's
you.
just, I really want to see you all just knock it out of the park. And I know that when you start doing this, putting yourself out there and a little more vulnerability and just a little more of you, your business will take off. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guarantee you it will. I mean, I
Definitely.
can't guarantee sales, but you
Yeah.
sorry, let's
Right.
just disclaimer. I can't guarantee sales,
Right.
but this will definitely make it a lot easier for you. And I'm super excited for you guys to have it as a resource.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes, I will put Joey's social media links. Make sure you follow her. I also put the course and everything on there, so you'll have everything in the description box.
Okay, well, thank
Thank
you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Joey. Anything else before we leave?
I think not. I think we've covered it, and I appreciate your time very much. It's always my pleasure to be on here with you.
No, thank you for getting on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, take care. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye, Joy. Bye bye.
Bye.